Hello everybody, and welcome back to Occult Perspectives. I was able to get a video in yesterday. I was feeling decent enough to do that, and today I am feeling a little bit better. A little better than I was yesterday, so just seems each day I keep feeling a little bit better, and slowly getting my singing voice back. But yeah, I just had a really rough cold last weekend. It kicked my butt. For those of you who didn't see my last video, and yeah, it's been like a whole transformation process. I feel this is like a rebirth or a renewal of energy, so to speak. You can probably tell from my voice too that yeah, it's just been rough on me. So this video I probably won't make too long. I don't have too much time left until some people get home, and I can't expect everybody to be quiet all the time. So, but I only have energy for so much today. Today I wanted to hit Dante again, but we're going to be reading from two different versions: the Everyday Man's Library version, and this is a translation. It doesn't even say who translated it on the outside. We have to go to the inside, but it's a beautiful red hardback, gold pages, illustrations in there. It's pretty incredible. It does not have notes the way that this one does, though. So if you're wanting to understand the text better, this would be a better version to buy, like a student version. This is just like a beautiful, like something you want to keep forever kind of thing, you know. This other book, it's been with me everywhere. This one's not really going with me. It's gonna stay at home and stay in good condition. Yeah, it's a Barnes & Noble version. Still not telling me who translated this version. That's weird. It'll tell me in here. Translations. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow was already one of America's leading poets by the mid-19th century when he began composing his English translation of the Divine Comedy. It was completed between 1865 and 1867. Let's see if there's anything else super interesting here, important. Given that no original transcript of the Divine Comedy exists, all Dante volumes are in some form a translation. Interesting. Among the earliest was that of Italian writer Giovanni Boccaccio. I'm probably butchering that. But anyway, yeah, so this was translated by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Alrighty. So in the last video, there are 5 Dante videos prior to this video, so this will be part 6 now. I really didn't get that far, though. I've only gotten, because I've been going so in-depth about, I decided to just, jump right in and hit this pretty hardcore, this whole Divine Comedy story. So we're on Canto 2, Inferno, Canto 2, line 70. So I'm going to kind of read from probably the Everyday Man's Library first. And this is the part where Beatrice is sending after Virgil and says, "Look, my friend Dante, he's so far off the course at this point. I'm kind of worried about him. Like, we need to get him back on the path. For I am Beatrice who send you on. I come from where I most long to return. Love prompted me, that love which makes me speak. When once again I stand before my Lord, then I shall often let him hear your praises." Let's see what kind of notes I put in. Come from where I most long to return, source. I think we had mentioned that at the end of the last episode. Love prompted me, true love prompted her. We'll see what kind of notes we have in this section too. Nothing until 70, or wait, that's not. Yeah, from Paradise. Line 77, what's going on there? When once again I stand before my Lord, then I shall often let him hear your praises. Now Beatrice was silent. I began. O Lady of Virtue, the sole reason why the human race surpasses all that lies beneath the heaven with with the smallest spheres. By 77, all that lies, everything on earth beneath the first one of the heavenly spheres, the moon. So, and it'll get more into this in Paradiso, the idea of the earth being the bottom on the tree of life, and then these planets, Dante and Beatrice ascend back to paradise through these planets. So it's like this Kabbalistic process taking place, and it's all encoded into this poem. So I read a little bit. I read from like line 70 to line 78. Let me read in this version. We'll see what the difference is. Beatrice am I, who did bid thee go. It's a little more archaic, I think. I come from there where I would fain return. Love moved me, which compelleth me to speak. When I shall be in presence of my Lord, full often will I praise thee unto him. Then paused she, and thereafter I began, O Lady of Virtue, thou alone, through whom the human race exceedeth all contained within the heaven that has the lesser circles. See, so without kind of the extra notes of this, because it tells you that they're talking about the sphere of the moon, and this older archaic version, unless you already know that, it's kind of hard to tell, because it just says within the heaven that has the lesser circles. So it's a little more archaic. Let's proceed in the student version. So welcome is your wish that even if it were already done, it would seem tardy. All you need to do is let me know your will. But tell me why you have not been more prudent, descending to the center, moving from that spacious place where you long to return, because you want to fathom things so deeply. And this center was limbo. So that spacious place, descending to this center, limbo, moving from that spacious place where you long to return, because you want to fathom things so deeply, I now shall tell you promptly, she replied, why I am not afraid to enter here, because Beatrice has the authority to essentially go from heaven, has God's authority to go from heaven or purgatory to travel down, and to communicate this message to Virgil. She has that divine authority given from God, which we talked about before. Let's read some of those lines in here. I started on line, where did I start? Line 79 to like 88. And here's what it sounds like. So grateful unto me is thy commandment to obey, if 'twere already done or late. No farther needs thou open to me thy wish, but the cause tell me, why dost thou not shun the here descending down into this center, limbo, from the vast place thou burnest to return to, so yearn to return to, because she wants to go back to heaven. She doesn't want to stay down there, I'm assuming is what is being said. Since thou would fain so inwardly discern, briefly will I relate, she answered me, why I am not afraid to enter here. So that's the same lines, the same kind of thing going on. Line 74, I shall often let him hear your praises. I wrote in my notes to go over that. When I once again stand before my Lord, then I shall often let him hear your praises. So she's saying that when she goes back to be in the presence of the Lord, she will praise Virgil, essentially, for doing this task for Beatrice. Line 78, beneath the heaven, lowercase, with the smallest spheres. That was the moon, as we had said before. Line 79, the wish is so welcome it is already done. It's already... This wish, it's been granted by source, because it's as if it has already been accomplished. Let's go to line, we're going to line 88, we're in Canto 2 still. One ought to be afraid of nothing other than things possessed of power to do us harm. But things innocuous need not be feared. God in his graciousness has made me so that this, your misery, cannot touch me. Basically the place where Virgil is at, limbo. I can withstand the fires flaming here. In heaven, there's a gentle lady, one who weeps for the distress toward which I send you. So that stern judgment up above is shattered. And it was she who called upon Lucia. Okay, let's go to the notes real quick. A gentle lady. I was gonna say, it's Beatrice that was talking, so it was like she was talking to herself in the third person, but she wasn't talking about herself. She was talking about Mother Mary, Mother of Christ and Queen of Heaven, who intercedes with God on behalf of all Christians. So yeah, basically, one ought not to be afraid of nothing other than the things which could actually do us harm. But things innocuous need not be feared. Interesting. Because they don't have the power of God. God in his graciousness has made me so that your misery cannot touch me no matter what. I can withstand the fires flaming here in heaven. There is a gentle lady, Mary, one who weeps for the distress towards which I send you, so that stern judgment up above is shattered. Stern judgment, God's justice, which should punish Dante, but it is mitigated by Mary's intercession. It's interesting that there's a relationship between Mother Mary and Source in this, and of course Dante was Catholic and everything, but he's also encoding Kabbalistic and other esoteric things into this. But Mary is able to intercede on behalf of Source. Like, she's able to say, please, like, I have mercy for this soul. And it's the same similar concept that takes place in Purgatory, the second book of the Divine Comedy. Because people are able to pray to heaven and help people's sins become removed through prayer. So it's this idea of being able to intercede on the behalf of the sinner. They can send their prayers to help further their process along while they're climbing Mount Purgatory towards paradise. Okay, so let me just go ahead and read the same lines in this version, this hardback copy, the more archaic version. And I think I started, one ought to be afraid. So line 88. Of those things only should one be afraid which have the power of doing others harm. Of the rest, no, because they are not fearful. God in his mercy such created me that misery of yours attains me not, cannot touch me, nor any flame assails me of this burning. A gentle lady is in heaven, Mother Mary, who grieves at this impediment to which I send thee, so that stern judgment there above is broken, so it breaks the stern judgment of God. Here we have an illustration, the first illustration that's popped up since I've started reading. In this video, I just started reading from this book, but this is a picture of Beatrice with Dante in the woods, it looks like. Beatrice am I, who do bid thee go. It's from line 70, which is ironically exactly where we started at the beginning of this video. Beatrice am I, who do bid thee go. I come from there where I would fain return. Love move me, which compelleth me to speak. So the love of Beatrice was able to. There's Dante and Beatrice right there in the woods. Beatrice am I, who do bid thee go. She's sending him on his journey. She's sending him on his way. It's like, look, it's time to move forward, move through any mistakes. You're going to see what the afterlife is like, so that you can understand the moral law, the Kabbalistic law, basically the blueprint for continuing upward towards ultimate source. So I don't think I'm going to read too much more. Actually, I'll probably about stop right there. So I read basically to Canto 2, line 96. So I guess next time we'll pick up from there. I'm going to mark this spot in the book right now. Sorry, as I've said before, I'm kind of slow at moving through these Dante videos, but I'm actually, even though I've read the whole Divine Comedy at this point, not 2 whole times, but I probably have read it almost twice, not quite, but as we're going through these videos, it's cool to read through it again, and also go through the notes and stuff. That way, you get a fuller understanding of everything. Looks like maybe there's one more thing here that I did not cover. On line 88, one ought not to be afraid of nothing other than things possessed of power to do us harm. She basically, I guess I wrote in my notes that Beatrice was answering Virgil in such a beautiful way. Like, there is nothing to be afraid of, you know? One ought not to be afraid. And the definition of innocuous is not harmful or offensive. So when we read, then things possess the power to do us harm, but things innocuous need not be feared. It's not harmful or offensive, is the definition of that word. Line 92, that this, your misery cannot touch me. Even Virgil's misery cannot touch her, as we said before. Line 93, I'm just finishing up my notes here, and then I'll go ahead and end this video. Line 93, she can withstand the fires flaming here, whether symbolic or like the fires of hell, you know, however they're describing it there. Line 94, Mary, we already said that. Line 96, Dante's sin is mitigated by Mary's divine love, as we said before, judgment shattered. Okay, and then, yep, we'll pick up on line 97, because it starts to talk about Saint Lucia, or Saint Lucy, and that's an important character in this chain of command, this kind of divine feminine heaven hierarchy that we have going on and that we've discussed in videos prior. So yeah, this is just fun for me, guys, to go over this stuff again. It's really fun. I'm more excited to be a student now in life than I've ever been before. Just doing the great work, spreading more peace and love. I hope everybody's healthy, happy, doing well. I will see you all very soon, hopefully. Peace and blessings.